But I think MVP. Now, I'm going to look at this the way I did with Michael Jordan. Now, she's not the Michael Jordan of her sport as far as athleticism, playing, dominating. But jaWilson is the best player in the game.
Have you seen the amazing feats Caitlin Clark has been accomplishing lately?
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlin Clark is not the Rookie of the Year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Now, I'm not going to put jaWilson in there. I'm just saying between these two. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is.
This rookie isn't just helping the Fever make a playoff push. She's also shaking up the entire WNBA MVP race.
Caitlin Clark, I'm sure you saw, just became the all-time scoring leader in women's college basketball. I'm curious, where would you rank her amongst all-time college players, in your opinion?
Ooh, that's tough because you got to win one. I feel like that college is one of those spaces where you got to win one for them to even have your name in the conversation. And it took me 3 years to win mine, so it's hard. But congratulations to her.
While jaWilson may still be the frontrunner, Clark's mind-blowing stats are turning heads. This rookie isn't just piling up points. She's redefining the game itself.
2 years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans. Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. That's almost 10 times. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark. I think she should be up for MVP. Rookie of the Year, foregone conclusion.
There's now a real chance jaWilson could miss out on the MVP title, and her reaction to seeing Clark's numbers. Priceless. Even the league's best can't keep up with those skills.
And just for the record, Caitlin isn't much of a defender either, though she can and she will steal the basketball. She's 15th in the WNBA in steals. Pretty good.
Let's break it down. 40 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds in her latest game. That's not just impressive. That's MVP caliber.
She is starting to push Asia as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
And it's not a one-time thing. Clark has been consistently dominant all season, leading the league in assists while scoring like a seasoned veteran.
The NBA in its entirety is really cooking right now, and it continues to grow, and there is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The NBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball.
You might be wondering how a rookie can be in the MVP conversation. Well, brace yourself because Clark is rewriting the WNBA playbook. Her impact goes beyond the stats. She's drawing in new fans, boosting viewership, and making everyone take notice.
I'm sorry. It's gotten to the point where Rookie of the Year is over 2-3 weeks ago. All of a sudden, Caitlin Clark is starting to push jaWilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating.
This isn't just about Rookie of the Year anymore. Clark is making a serious case for MVP, and it's impossible to ignore.
I've got the fever. I can't help it. I can't stop watching. I can't stop talking about the impact Caitlin Clark is having on game after game after game.
You've seen the highlights, but her influence goes beyond the numbers. The Fever has gone from a bottom feeder to a playoff contender in just one season. What's driving this dramatic turnaround?
She takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
Clark is at the heart of it all. Let's rewind a bit. Last season, the Indiana Fever were the laughingstock of the WNBA, finishing with a dismal 13-27 record. Fast forward to now, and they're sitting pretty at 18-16, with a playoff spot secured.
I think Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now and makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league, right?
It feels like they're an entirely different team, but they're not. The lineup hasn't changed much except for one key addition: Caitlin Clark. This rookie isn't just racking up impressive stats, she's completely transforming the franchise. Have you noticed how the Fever have been on fire since the Olympic break? They've gone 7-1, and guess who's leading the charge? That's right, Clark. She's not just scoring, she's elevating everyone around her. Her teammates are getting great opportunities, the offense is clicking, and opponents are struggling to keep up.
Not even a debate. But I'm talking about value now. Value to a franchise, value to a league, getting your team in the playoffs. They had the number one pick. They were the worst team last year. And there is value that I can attach to that. Now, that might not fit in the categories that everybody would consider for MVP. I'm talking about value. Michael Jordan was the most valuable player.
You might be wondering, can one player really have such a huge impact? Well, consider this. Clark is averaging 37.6 points per game, whether through scoring or assisting. That's not just remarkable, it's on track to shatter a WNBA record. Let that sink in. Next voice. But it's more than just statistics. Clark's influence on the court changes everything. Defenses have to focus on her, creating openings for her teammates. And when she's in possession, something extraordinary happens.
But also, she needed a rest. She needed a rest after the season in college basketball. A month later, she's playing games, and she's playing against really good teams. And then they stacked the schedule up front, so everybody got to see her play. She struggled.
She combines the vision of a seasoned point guard with the scoring prowess of a superstar.
Just shoot it in the fourth quarter. You're that good. You've proven to be that great. Her three-point shooting has heated up, and nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can.
Since July 1st, the Fever's offense has transformed from the worst in the league to the best.
Caitlin Clark, in a shock to me, has proven already to be a once-a-generation passer. I did not see that coming at Iowa. I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted, LeBron-esque bounce passing.
Consider this. How many rookies step into the league and immediately transform a struggling team into a playoff contender? It's nearly unheard of, but Clark isn't your typical rookie. She's a game changer, a franchise-altering talent who's redefining what's achievable in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league. It's pretty extraordinary for a rookie.
Remember when we thought we had a handle on what makes a great WNBA player? Clark has completely shifted that perspective. She excels in every aspect of the game, and her numbers are so extraordinary they almost seem unbelievable. Let's dive into why Clark is a nightmare for defenders. First off, Clark is leading the league in assists. Yes, a rookie is outshining seasoned point guards when it comes to setting up her teammates. But it gets even wilder. She's not just a great passer, she's also a scoring powerhouse. And we're not talking about typical scoring. While most players shoot 3s from just behind the arc, Clark is nailing them from 30 to 34 feet away, connecting on over 37% of her shots from that distance. Imagine trying to guard someone who's a threat the moment they cross half court. It's like she's playing a different game. But that's not all. You might think that with such a long range, she'd struggle near the basket, but you'd be wrong. Clark is finishing at the rim like one of the league's top big players, converting 63.6% of her attempts within 5 feet of the hoop. That's not just impressive for a guard, it's a light for any player. So how is she doing this? It's simple. Clark's offensive versatility is off the charts. She can score, pass, and create plays out of nowhere. Defenses are completely baffled. Play her tight, and she'll blow by you. Give her space, and she'll sink a long 3 right in your face. Clark creates her own shots more than anyone else in the league. She doesn't need someone to set her up. She is the setup. She's both the playmaker and the entire offense rolled into one. But it's not just about the numbers. Clark's unique talents are forcing teams to rethink their entire defensive strategies. How do you defend someone who's a threat from every position on the court? Double team her and she'll find the open player. Play her one-on-one and she'll score on you.
Having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year. And suddenly, the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
It's a no-win situation for defenses. Last year, the Fever was at the bottom of the league. And that's an important context to keep in mind. Think Clark's performance on the court is remarkable. Just wait until you see how she's boosting TV ratings. She's not only changing the game, she's reshaping the entire landscape of women's basketball, and the numbers are astonishing. Clark's talent is rewriting the playbook, but her influence extends far beyond the court. She's not just winning games, she's drawing in fans and capturing attention nationwide. The WNBA has never seen anything like this before. For instance, on August 26th, Clark and the Fever attracted an impressive 67,000 viewers. You might think that's good, but here's the twist. On the same day, an NBA matchup between the Warriors and Spurs only reached 64,000 viewers.
Yeah, I'm talking players, coaches, and refs. They're all a bunch of Caitlin Clark haters. They're all a bunch of jealous haters. They are just working themselves up about Caitlin Clark just to hate on her. Skylar Diggins is bumping her. Their girls are complaining on bench. Referees are getting into it now. They're all a bunch of...
That's right. Clark surpassed an NBA game by nearly 10,000 viewers. And this isn't just a one-off occurrence. Clark and the Fever have appeared in 4 of the 9 most-watched games on NBA TV this season.
The Indiana Fever have responded in a big way since the Olympic break. Take a look at this. These are the top 3 scorers in the WNBA since the women brought home gold in the Olympics a few weeks ago. 2 of the members are of the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, but we are missing a big piece to this all-star puzzle. Literally, Aaliyah Boston has taken a step forward in her game, and she has built a special chemistry with their stars.
This isn't merely a victory for the WNBA. It's revolutionary.
Caitlin Clark may not win titles. Las Vegas is still a great team. But the fact that she is doing what she's doing and at a very high level, it's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league.
We're witnessing rookie numbers that rival those of established NBA stars. Next voice. So, what's behind this phenomenon? It's simple. Clark isn't just an outstanding player, she's becoming a cultural icon. Fans aren't merely watching basketball, they're specifically tuning in to see Caitlin Clark in action. Next voice. She possesses a rare star quality that captivates both casual viewers and die-hard basketball enthusiasts. This surge in viewership isn't just a win for Clark or the Fever, it's elevating the entire WNBA. More attention on the league means greater recognition and a broader spotlight for women's basketball.
She's learned how to play the game, and she said, I had to learn how to play the WNBA.
Increased sponsorships and more growth opportunities are on the horizon. Clark's impact is prompting everyone to take women's basketball seriously, and it's about time.
I kind of said this on Complex one time. It was just a huge thing of, I think she's going to be good. I think she's going to be someone that's going to be huge for the franchise that she gets drafted to. And I just hope that franchise builds around her so she can continue to grow. And I hope the same fans that are writing for her now continue to help her and carry her and follow her into the W, because that's where the growth happens. Anyone can talk the talk now, but it's like, all right, next step. Are you still there? Are you still a true fan?
She's exceptional as well. Life can be unfair, and jaWilson will have to face that reality. You might wonder how this affects Clark's MVP prospects. Well, it's significant. MVPs aren't chosen solely based on statistics. They consider overall influence, and Clark's impact is truly remarkable. It's still frustrating.
Despite averaging 18.7 points and leading the WNBA in assists at 8.4, Clark hasn't come close to peak performance yet. A victim mentality would prevent her from making the necessary improvements. Her fans could give her that mentality if they continue to cry about things that don't really matter and shield Clark from objective.
She's not only making waves on the court, she's influencing the entire league.
And I said, second half of the season, look out. And that's exactly what's happened for her and her backcourt mate, Kelsey Mitchell. She's wonderful, too.
When she gets her MVP, if she gets her MVP, then the conversation will be complete. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Clark's presence is compelling teams to reevaluate their strategies, not just during games, but in their overall tactics.
I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. She's got horrendous pressure on her. Not to be a diva, not to look like she's trying to be something more than she should be as a rookie. I appreciate that. But Caitlin, you're really not a rookie anymore.
Organizations are starting to recognize that star power and charisma can be just as crucial as an exceptional jump shot. Next voice. Clark is proving that one player can transform the WNBA. You might wonder if, as a rookie, she can truly compete with established stars for the MVP title. That's a fair question.
One thing Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now, makes it about others, makes it about team.
Well, this is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong, because Angel Reese was the best player on the team that won a national championship in college. It's not like she came out of nowhere.
But Clark isn't following the conventional playbook. She's reshaping what's possible for a rookie. Her ability to draw intense defensive attention, coupled with her cultural impact, is prompting a reevaluation of what it means to be MVP.
I think she got to win her one to really kind of have her name in that. But I mean, she's always going to be a great player for Iowa and for the game as a whole. But yeah, winning one is pretty huge in college.
Consider how Clark has transformed the Fever from the league's worst team into playoff contenders, all while breaking records left and right. Now she's aiming for the MVP award, but there's a major obstacle. jaWilson.
The Indiana Fever finished 13-27 a year ago, the third worst record in the WNBA. The Fever currently stand at 17-16 this season with 7 games to play. They're the hottest team in the league since the Olympic break. They can win it all this season if, and only if, Caitlin Clark continues to elevate her efficiency and basketball IQ.
Wilson has been a powerhouse all season, and she's the current MVP frontrunner, which is well-deserved.
My teammate KP was just like, yeah, that's huge. That's a lot of points. And that, don't take that for granted. They were getting them up 100%. So congratulations.
Her defense is exceptional, and she's a dominant presence on the boards, yet Clark's offensive skills are something else entirely.
Best player. Could it be a situation where she takes sweepstakes, where she wins the MVP, she wins Defensive Player of the Year, and she wins Finals MVP?
She's not just scoring, she's making plays that leave everyone amazed. The real clash occurs on September 11th and 13th when Clark and Wilson go head-to-head. These games aren't just about winning. They could decide who takes home the MVP title. This isn't just another basketball matchup. It's a potential turning point in the Wemba's power dynamics. And believe me, you won't want to miss it.
Live. I mean, what's she averaging? Probably 27 and 12 with probably 2 blocks, 2 steals, because she does it on both. That's what's so impressive, is that the amount of energy that she exerts.
What more can you ask?
Nothing. She got that elbow jumper. She can put the ball on the floor, finish with either hand. She has no flaws offensively. She's having an unbelievable season.
No bullshit.
Nah.
Remember when we thought we had a handle on what makes a great WNBA player? Clark has completely shifted that perspective. She excels in every aspect of the game, and her numbers are so extraordinary they almost seem unbelievable. Let's dive into why Clark is a nightmare for defenders. First off, Clark is leading the league in assists. Yes, a rookie is outshining seasoned point guards when it comes to setting up her teammates. But it gets even wilder. She's not just a great passer, she's also a scoring powerhouse. And we're not talking about typical scoring. While most players shoot 3s from just behind the arc, Clark is nailing them from 30 to 34 feet away, connecting on over 37% of her shots from that distance. Imagine trying to guard someone who's a threat the moment they cross half court. It's like she's playing a different game. But that's not all. You might think that with such a long range, she'd struggle near the basket, but you'd be wrong. Clark is finishing at the rim like one of the league's top big players, converting 63.6% of her attempts within 5 feet of the hoop. That's not just impressive for a guard. It's a light for any player. So, how is she doing this? It's simple. Clark's offensive versatility is off the charts. She can score, pass, and create plays out of nowhere. Defenses are completely baffled. Play her tight, and she'll blow by you. Give her space, and she'll sink a long three right in your face. Clark creates her own shots more than anyone else in the league. She doesn't need someone to set her up. She is the setup. She's both the playmaker and the entire offense rolled into one. But it's not just about the numbers. Clark's unique talents are forcing teams to rethink their entire defensive strategies. How do you defend someone who's a threat from every position on the court? Double team her and she'll find the open player. Play her one-on-one, and she'll score on you.
I think Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now and makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league, right?